Senator Rubio. Just 30 seconds on this question, Senator Rubio. Are those the questions you would ask?
No, I think there are three major threats that you want to immediately get on top of. Number one is, what are we doing in the Asia-Pacific region, where both North Korea and China pose threats to the national security of the United States? Number two is, what are we doing in the Middle East with a combination of the Sunni-Shia conflict driven by the Shia arc that Iran is now trying to establish in the Middle East, and also the growing threat of ISIS? And the third is rebuilding and reinvigorating NATO in the European theater, particularly in Central Europe and in Eastern Europe, where Vladimir Putin is now threatening the territory of multiple countries, already controls 20% of Georgia and a significant percentage of Ukraine.
Let me ask you a follow-up, a full, proper question. Violent extremists are active in 40 countries. Some 80 countries are in different degrees of instability, and so that's just the crises overseas. Barack Obama walked into an economic collapse when he came into office. We face international health crises from Ebola to Zika. So there's a lot of opportunity for crisis, as you've talked about. What would you point to in your past to show voters that you've been in a crisis and that you've been tested when that inevitable crisis comes when you're president?
Let me just tell you what's happened a couple years ago. One of the hardest decisions you'll ever make in Congress is when you are asked by the president to authorize the use of force in a conflict. Because you are now putting your name on behalf of the people of your state behind a military action where Americans in uniform could lose their life. So in 2014, Barack Obama said he would not take military action against Assad unless it was authorized by the Senate, beginning on the Committee of Foreign Relations, where I am one of its members. And it was hard, because you looked at the pictures. I saw the same images people saw. I'm the father of children. I saw the images of these little children been gassed and poisoned by their own leaders. And we were angry. Something had to happen, and there was the sense that we needed to seek retribution. And then I looked at Barack Obama's plan. Barack Obama's plan, which John Kerry later described as unbelievably small, and I concluded that that attack would not only not help the situation, it would make it actually worse. It would allow Assad to stand up to the United States of America, survive a strike, stay in power, and actually strengthen his grip. And so it was a difficult decision to make. And when we only had a few days to look at it and make a decision on, and I voted against Barack Obama's plan to use force, and it was the right decision.
Dr. Carson, I want to ask you a question.